Hello, everybody. It's Common Sense Christianity at you again with another short video on agency. This is another example. This one's going to be between the Roman commander and his highly regarded servant. So if you look at Matthew 8:5, it talks about when Jesus entered Capernaum, a centurion came to him. Okay, so we see Jesus here. And it says, a centurion came to him, begging him, and saying, Lord, my servant is lying paralyzed at home, terribly tormented. Jesus said to him, I will come and heal him. But the centurion replied, okay, so we see obviously here, the centurion replied, and earlier it says, the centurion came to Jesus. The centurion replies, Lord, I am not worthy for you to come under my roof, but just say the word, and my servant will be healed. For I am also a man under authority, with soldiers under me, and I say this to one, go, and he goes, and to another, come, and he comes, and to my slave, do this, and he does it. Now when Jesus heard this, he was amazed and said to those who were following, Truly I say to you, I have not found such great faith with anyone in Israel. Okay, and he goes on and talks, and it says right here, And Jesus said to the centurion, Go, it shall be done for you as you have believed. And the servant was healed at that very moment. So we see here there is an obvious dialogue that the centurion, again, the centurion came to Jesus, okay? And he spoke to the centurion. It says here, but the centurion replied, right? And then he says to the centurion, Jesus said to the centurion. So again, if we put down our Bibles at this point, we would tell everybody about how Jesus met the centurion and how the centurion and Jesus had this dialogue and how the servant was healed, this, that, and the other, right? Well, that would be not true, though, because we wouldn't understand agency. If we go to Luke 7, and we look at this parallel between the Roman commander and his servant, we see here where when he had completed all his teaching in the hearing of the people, he went to Capernaum. Okay, this is paralleling the Matthew 8:5, 10 through 13. Now a centurion's slave, who was highly regarded by him, was sick. Okay, this is paralleling again Matthew 8 through 5. When he heard about Jesus, he sent some Jewish elders to him. Wait a minute. In Matthew, it said the centurion came to Jesus. But now we see that he sent some Jewish elders to him, asking him to come and save the life of the slave. Well, again, what happened to the centurion? We were told in the book of Matthew in chapters 8 through 5, 10 through 13, that it was the centurion who came to Jesus. So why are these Jewish elders coming to Jesus? Right? When they came to Jesus, they strongly urged him, saying, He is worthy for you to grant this to him, for he loves our nation. And it was he who built our synagogue. Now Jesus started on his way with them, but already when he was not yet far from the house, the centurion sent friends, saying to him, Lord, do not trouble yourself further, for I am not worthy for you to enter under my roof. For that reason, I did not even consider myself worthy to come to you. But just say the word, and my servant shall be healed. For I am also a man placed under authority, with soldiers under myself. And I say to this one, go, and he goes, and to another, come, and he comes, and to my slave, do this, and he does it. Now when Jesus heard this, he was amazed at him, and turned and said to the crowd that was following him, I say to you, not even in Israel have I found such great faith. And when those who had been sent returned to the house, they found the slave in good health. Okay, so we see in the book of Matthew, like I illustrated, that it clearly said that the centurion came to Jesus. And Jesus said to the centurion, and the centurion said to Jesus. But we can see here in the book of Luke 7 that he didn't feel worthy to come to Jesus. So he sent forth the elders, and they were sent by the centurion to represent him. Now, in the Bible, it refers to these elders as the centurion himself. But is it literally true? No, it's not. Okay, so as I made evident in some of my other videos, when you have the Hebrew understanding of agency, you understand why they can shift between the sent and the sender, just like they're the same person. Okay, it's really confusing in our maybe in our Western thought, because we don't have this understanding. But it's imperative that people have this understanding, because it's throughout Scripture, right? Again, when angels appear, God does appear because it's his agent. He's sent. Just like when the centurion appeared, but he didn't really appear. It was the Jewish elders that appeared. But the author will put down that the centurion did appear. But then we see later, which seems like a contradiction if you don't go by agency and you don't understand agency, that the centurion didn't feel worthy, so he sent forth these elders who represented him. Okay, now they would understand this. They would understand that the sent is equal to the sender, just like when Jesus said, "I and the Father are one." That was a huge deal, because Jesus was claiming to be given authority by God to represent God, just like the centurion was sent, or the elders were sent on behalf of the centurion. They were the centurion, right? Jesus is God, figuratively here. He's in place of God. And they took real problem with that, because it tells you in Deuteronomy 18 that if any prophet comes to speak on my behalf that I have not authorized, that prophet is to be put to death. Jesus was speaking in God's place. That's why he said, "You are a man and you make yourself out to be God." Right? He was putting himself, elevating himself equal with God as his representative. And that's why Jesus said, "I come not on my own authority." But they knew what he was saying. He was claiming to be in God's place. He was representing God. Just like here, the elders represent the centurion. In my latest other video, when the disciples were baptizing, it said Jesus was baptizing, but he wasn't literally. Okay. So again, I like to keep this video short. This is another example of agency. The sent is equal to the sender. And that's why in one passage you can refer to Jesus speaking to the centurion, but in another chapter, Jesus is not speaking to the centurion literally. He's speaking to the Jewish elders. So I hope this gives you a little bit of things to chew on. Think about things, maybe go through Scripture and find some instances of agency. There's plenty more, but I'd like to address these one by one and keep these short and sweet. And God bless you.